I don't know if my light is enough. Let me see. I'm still trying to set up. Let me see. I'm trying to set up. Welcome, guys. I'm still trying to set up. Let me see. I'm trying to set up. Welcome, guys. Still trying to set up. Let me see. I'm trying to set up. Welcome, guys. Still trying to set up. Let me see. I'm trying to set up. Welcome, guys. Still trying to set up. Yeah, welcome, Divyang Craig from India. Welcome. So let's just give some time to see others come on before we start our talk. Divyang Craig from India. Welcome. If you want to join us live, just let me know. I can send a link. I can invite some people to join us if you want to share your experience with us. Give some time to see others come on before we start our talk. If you want to join us live, just let me know. I can send a link. I can invite some people to join us if you want to share your experience with us. Sometimes others come on before we start our If you want to join us live, just let me know. I can send a link. I can invite some people to join us if you want to share your experience with us. Sometimes others come on before we start our If you want to join us live, just let me know. I can send a link. I can invite some people to join us if you want to share your experience with us. Sometimes others come on. So I've shared the link in the private chat section. If you want to join the stream, you can just let me know.
Yeah, you're asking about hope. I think there is always hope. There is always hope. If
So
young, there
I've
is
shared
hope.
the link in
There
the
is hope. Like I
private
said
chat section.
before in most of my videos,
If you want to join the stream,
the hope for September
you can
might
just
look
let me know.
very, very slim now. But from the recent news, we think that a lot is being done under the ground. I know a lot of you who have been in China already. You should understand the Chinese government by now. You should understand the Chinese people by now that they don't really go with pressure from international bodies or from international organizations. The Chinese man is someone who likes to work on the background, and you just see the results. So when I do videos and I try to encourage people, I tell guys there is hope, there is work under the ground. People say, "Oh no, you're just leaking us. You're just worshiping China because you're in China." I'm like, no, there is hope. Yeah, there is hope for real. It might not be as soon as possible. It might not be in September, but the hopes for next year in April next year, the hopes for next year are very high, especially with the rate at which the vaccination is going on in China. We think that by the end of this year, a lot would have been cleared and the green light will be very clear for students to return to China. You see, I did also a video where I talked about my projections for some of the things that are still holding the Chinese government or maybe the authorities to release or to invite students. And most of the things that I mentioned are already ongoing. For example, we talk about the fact that this year was a very sensitive year in Chinese politics, so they didn't want any interruptions, and that event has already been passed, the 100th centenary of the Chinese Communist Party, which they didn't want any interruption of maybe having cases of maybe locking borders and so on. So that event had already passed. And now the next event that China is planning to take now is the Olympics, the Beijing Olympics. And this event will take place, I think, early next year, like I think in February 2022. And this is also one of the events that they are trying as much as possible not to have anything that will interrupt this event because they want to have it successfully. That's why they are limiting the amount of people who are coming into China. You see, a lot of people are saying that if others can come into China, why not students? The people that are allowed to come into China are people that are given high priority, either to meet their families or maybe workers or diplomats with very high diplomatic responsibilities. These are only the people that are allowed to come to China now. Before they started issuing the PU letter is like an invitation letter for work where a company can give you and invite you to China. But now most companies they cannot even have the PU letters again. So it's not like they're biased for students. No, they're not being biased for students. Students are the most important, even if you want to look at it. It's just that if they give the green light for students, the number of students that are out of China are so much compared to the number of diplomats or the number of people who are coming to reunite with their families. I think that's the reason why they gave that's the reason why they gave priorities to people who are coming to meet their families and to people who are coming for maybe diplomatic work or maybe some high skilled employees. The next group of people that were supposed to start coming to China were supposed to be students. But just before this was about to be considered, the cases started coming in so seriously. It started back with India, and the second wave started, and the third wave. I think these are the reasons that made the students coming in to be shifted again to next year because from all indication we knew that this September 2021 students will be able to come back to China. So you see they had a plan that when once we allow workers and diplomats and people who are reuniting, then the next batch will be students. But just as students were about to be considered, then the next wave started. It started in India and in a lot of other places in Europe. That was the reason why students were suspended to another semester. So if you have any question, or if you have anything, or if you want to share your experience with us, let me know in the comments section, and I can give you the link. Maybe you can come on, you can open the link and join us, and maybe we can have like an interactive session. So I've shared the link. If someone wants to join the stream, you can just click on that link. I'll invite you, and then maybe you can come online and then share your experience. Just tell us the interaction you've been having with your school. Like, what message have your school said? What do your school say? And about your country, tell me the situation in your country. Like, do you have any communication with your embassy? Do you have any representatives? What are they saying? Because we are saying all this based on what we get from the news, but you guys are the people who are directly concerned. So I'll really like to know, what do they say? So if someone wants to click on the link and join us, like, tell us exactly, I'm from this university and this is what my university has been saying, or I'm from this country and this is the situation in this country. Let's just have like an interactive session and see. Like I said, this session will be recorded and a lot of people will watch, and they'll really see what people are going through, what students are really going through. So if someone wants to come up, let's see. Okay, Rahul Kudiwa says, I heard in local Chinese news in Shandong province, they said international students come back next semester. Okay, Rahul, that might be rumors, but if you have an official news like that, if you have a link to the news, can you share it with us, or can you come up online and then tell us which university or which province and give us more details? This can give hope to a lot of students, because we are from different universities, we are from different provinces, so we get the news differently. So if you want to come online to share with us that experience, we'll be very grateful. I've shared the link. If you want to come up to let us know, we'll be very grateful. Is there any problem Is there any problem if take non-Chinese vaccine like Moderna? Does it will create any problem? All right, for now, about the vaccine, my advice is that if you have the opportunity to take a Chinese made vaccine, that will be very advantageous for you, because if they are giving priority for students to come in first, I think China will consider first those who have taken Chinese made vaccine, because that is what was manufactured by them. That is what they trust. You see, so taking a foreign vaccine doesn't mean that it doesn't work or something. Maybe you might be considered towards the end. But if you want to be considered first, or if you want that you should be given priority, when students start to come back to China, I prefer you get a Chinese vaccine, unless there are no Chinese vaccines in your country, which I believe that most countries now have access to Chinese vaccines. I think most countries have access to Chinese vaccines. Then also we have Anya Onal. I'm studying in Tianjin, and teachers say that this year it is difficult for students to come back. Yeah, of course, this year is really difficult. Yeah, this year is really difficult, but the hopes for September are very high now. The hopes for September are very high, because by the end of this year, China would have finished vaccination, would have reached not like vaccinated everyone, but they would have reached what we call the herd immunity, which means that above 80 to 90% of the population would have been vaccinated. As for me, tomorrow I'm going for my vaccine. Tomorrow morning, I already have my appointment. I'm going for my vaccine, and I'm going to take a video and share with you guys that I've also taken my vaccine. So tomorrow I'll be going for my vaccine. So let the comments keep coming. If you want to join the stream, just click on the link and let us know. Then another question is saying, is there any hope to return? Of course, there is hope to return. We cannot say that students will never return to China. No, students will definitely return to China. There is hope. But the thing is, when? We cannot give a projection within 3 months. And there is one thing, let me let you know, anything that will happen as far as students are concerned will be given at least, from my projection, will be given at least 3 months. So September is already less than 3 months. So that's why we think that the hopes for September are almost gone, because anything less than 3 months, there is no hope, or there is very little hope. So since we think that there is no hope for September, we are already projecting now for the March intake. The March intake. So the hopes for March are like almost 70% okay for now. That will depend on how the vaccination will run up in China and how the other countries will respond to vaccination and how the COVID-19 situation in other countries will react. Let me see. We also have, when will international students come back to China? Next year or this year? Yeah, we've already, this is a Livingstone Carry. Please, when you ask a question, let me know which country you're asking from, so that if we have any information about your country, we can also talk about, or if you have anything specific about your country or university, let me know also in the question. This year, like we said, this year, the hopes for this year are almost gone. So we think that if anything has to happen, maybe from next year. I don't know if my lighting is clear enough. Okay, then also let me see that we have another question or comment from someone else, which says, most of the people say we can come back September 2022. Can't it be earlier, bro? Okay, even if you ask me, I'll say that September 2022. That is because I don't want to give false hopes, because I think that September 2022 is enough sample time for everything to take shape, or for most things to take shape. So if you don't want to be so anxious, or if you don't want your anxiety to be so high, just prepare yourself for September 2021, for September 2022. Honestly, because even when okay, we have someone who wants to come on. Raul.
Hello.
Hello, Raul.
Do you hear me, bro?
For September 2021.
Yeah, welcome. So you're from?
Because even when
I'm from India, bro.
Come on, Raul.
Oh, thank you so much for joining the stream. So can you share us the experience of students in India?
Hello,
What's
Raul.
happening in India now?
Do you hear me?
Now the students in India, like everywhere, is the same situation now. India, we are also, because in India, only medical student of China. Everyone
Thank you so much for
from
joining
medical
the
stream.
stream.
Okay.
So, can you share?
So
Okay.
it's very frustrating studying medicine on online basis. There is no practical and like
Now,
very frustrating now.
India, like everywhere is the same situation now. India, we are
In
also
India,
only medical student of China. Everyone, thank you so much for
Okay, so which university are you from?
very frustrating studying medicine.
I'm from Qingdao University, Shandong province.
Okay, can you just tell us in a very few words, what has your university said as far as the return of students is concerned? Just in a very few words, what did the university say? Okay, so which university are you from?
Actually,
I'm from Qingdao University, Shandong province. Okay, can you just tell us in a very few words, what has your university said?
Hello,
I think
can
the
you hear
lines.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I think the lines are breaking, so it's like a delay. I don't get you immediately as you talk. It delays before I can hear you.
Yeah, the- in my place there is a network problem. That's what I'm saying. That in online classes also we have a network problems, so we are not able to attend. Like that's the problem with online. And now we have 3 semesters
Lines are breaking, so
online
Okay, I
continued.
get that. I get that. So I can understand if you're
I
facing
want to say that
difficulties.
in my place there is a network problem. That's what I'm saying. That in online classes also we have a network problem.
Yeah, if we can have difficulties like this to have an online call, then I can imagine when you have your online classes. I can really imagine what you go through with the online classes, because sometimes also the network is not good. So I really understand what students go through with online classes, especially students who are doing delicate courses like medicine, engineering, and other sciences where they need a lot of practical work. So how have you been doing with your practicals? Any practicals?
No practicals right now because in India also there is like a little pandemic here and there, and then cases are increased. Now cases are down in India. The situation in control in India. Everything's fine in India. Like
Oh,
in my state, it's all good now.
okay. All right. So, but now what is the situation in India now? Can you tell us, like, is it going up or is going down? The COVID-19 situation in India.
No, no. COVID-19 it's going down only, and the vaccination also going on. And recently, yesterday, India survey came like 68% people achieve herd immunity. They have antibodies by
Okay. So, but
infection and
so
by
which
vaccine.
vaccines are being used in India now? In India do you have
We have two major
access
vaccines in India:
to Chinese
Covaxin.
made vaccines?
No, no. We have uh, like I got AstraZeneca, which is WHO authorized. AstraZeneca vaccine,
Okay, so
Covishield,
which
also known as
vaccines are
Covishield.
being used in India now? In India do you have access to Chinese made vaccines?
Okay, okay. So let me just get a few comments. Just a moment. Let me just get a few comments from some people here before we continue. Someone is saying, "How
Okay.
about this from West Africa?" Actually, I've not get any concrete information from students from West Africa, because most of the students who have been putting pressure on their return are mostly students from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. These are the three countries that I've always been hearing about their return. I've not heard anything concrete from other countries. Maybe it's because they don't have a strong student union, or maybe their diplomatic relationships are not very active. But if you're watching us and you're from any African country, and if you have any information about the diplomatic negotiations, please, I would like you to come on and share with us. Let me also read another comment from someone. By the end of this year, a lot of people will be vaccinated and China will have already gained immunity. So I hope it can be earlier. Yeah, that's why we are saying that we don't want to give false hopes. We don't want to give false hopes. By the end of this year, a lot of people would have been vaccinated in China and also in the rest of the world, but they need some time, like 6 months, to see the after effect, or maybe to see the aftermath of it. Like after vaccination, what will happen next? That's why I'm saying that next year, if we want to give ample time, it can't be as early as March or April. The best time that we can advise
Bro,
students to wait will be in September, because we think that by September, a lot of things would have already been in order. Yeah. Let me read another comment
I want to
again.
say something about this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I am saying that if you see the UK, okay, they complete their adult vaccination and they open the whole country, okay, and students are going also back. The international student, the other student, everything's open up in UK. So the
Students are going back to the UK.
so yeah, Indian student also going back to UK. Everyone's going back to UK. UK
Do
open.
you have
Fully
students?
open.
Do you have students from India who are going back to the UK now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And US also.
Yeah, for the US,
US
I
also.
know, but the thing is, for the students who are going back to the US, they've not started going. They've just given them a notice that they will start going soon, but I don't think they've started going.
They got their visas. They are going now. They
From
already got
India?
their visas. Yeah, from India. They got their visas. Oh. They like
Wow.
it's
I'm
15 and
just
20
hearing this
days
from
before
you
they
because I just know that there
they
is news that students might start going, but I didn't get
no.
any official
They,
information that some students have already gone.
they got their visas and they are going US student because they have the new semester starting from August na. August start. So they are going.
Okay,
And
okay.
one
I
more
see,
thing
I
I'm
see.
saying here, like the same is if I send the link of you the Jinping speech, there he said that we have to start cross border and like that, not erect wall. So he is also mentioning something like we have to open up now because pandemic is not going anywhere. We, pandemic is here only, and we have to take vaccine and start our economies like studies and everything like that. There he said that we have to start cross border and like that, not erect wall. So he is also mentioning something like what I feel is that the semester which is has to be started in September in China, they can like start in October and they start student like 10 August or 15 August. There should be an official notice for student before 15 August. Let's see. Hope for best. What I feel is that the semester which is has to be started in September in China,
Yeah.
they can like start in October and they start student like 10 August or 15 August. There should be an official notice for student before 15 August. Let's see. Hope for best.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the stream. So I'll let you to go now so that maybe we can get another person who will be coming
Okay.
up.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I really promise you guys, if I get anything positive, I'll always do videos about this and I'll always keep you guys updated. And I also want to use this opportunity to also encourage you guys that you don't have to be discouraged. You don't have to be discouraged. And also, while you're waiting, you can also be doing something else. Yeah, you don't just need to fold your arms. If you have other opportunities, you can look at them. You can look at them. If you have other opportunities in your country, you can start looking at them while you're waiting. You can do some other online courses. You can do something in your country at least to empower yourself so that by next year you won't have wasted a whole 1 year or 2 years just doing nothing. That's just my advice for those who still have the intentions to return to China one day. You can start looking at them while you're waiting. You can do some other online courses. You can do something in your country. I'm also facing a serious problem with my network connection as well. Since I'm using a VPN to use the StreamYard, let me see. So you see, just with a live stream like this, you see how the connection is not very stable. Then I can imagine how you guys have classes. Yeah, I can really imagine it's not really easy. The transmission is not very smooth, so it really makes things really difficult. I can imagine that. So you see, just with a live stream, I can imagine that how the connection is not very stable. Then I can imagine how you guys have classes. Yeah, I can really imagine it's not really easy. The transmission is not very smooth, so it really makes things really difficult. I can imagine that. Okay, so guys, I know some people are still watching, but I'm getting a lot of problem with my connection. If someone still wants to come up, please just click the link. We have the link up that I shared. If someone wants to come up to share their experience or to tell me which country they're from or some information from their university or say something about the situation, please just click on the link and I'll give you an invitation. We will stop for another 15 minutes because this live stream, I planned it to last only for 45 minutes. So in the next 15 minutes, we'll be rounding up. If you have something else to say, please just come up and let's share together. Or if you have any proposals, just come up and let's share them together. Click on the link and I'll give you an invitation. We will stop for another 15 minutes because this live stream I planned it to last only for 45 minutes. So in the next 15 minutes, we'll be rounding up. Someone says, is there any news you heard from local Chinese teacher about international students? Of course, the local Chinese teachers will only tell us to be, they only tell the students to be patient. They only tell the students, let's be patient, let's wait, let's be patient. We're waiting from the central authorities, and that's all they can say. You know, the authority system in China is very strict. Information must come from above. They have to follow the hierarchy. And if the hierarchy has not said anything, they are just teachers. They have to wait information from the central government, from the ministers, down to the university authorities before the information can even get to the teachers. Don't be surprised that even most of the teachers, they don't even have more information. Yeah, so even if you ask information from the teachers, don't be surprised that they might not even have much information about it because they will tell you the information will come from above. They are waiting for the hierarchy. My connection is really not very stable. Yeah, so even if you ask information from the teachers, don't be surprised that they might not even have much information about it because they will tell you the information will come from above. They are waiting for the hierarchy. My connection is really not very stable. So guys, we're gradually rounding up with this session. I'm so grateful to the few of you who came up today. This is just the first time I'm doing such a live stream, and I was just testing it actually to see how smooth it's gonna be. And I promise you guys that next time it will be better, and we will have, I'm sure we'll have had something new to share. So I'm so grateful for those who joined me today on the session. I'm gradually rounding up with this session for today, and I would like to have you again next week. The same time, we'll have another live session like this, and I'll also invite people to come up and share their different experiences with us. And if there's any update or if there's any information that I've gathered at that time, then I'll share it with you guys. But as far as China is concerned, I think the country is really doing a lot now as far as the vaccination is concerned. Someone, I'm from Ghana. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Livingston from Ghana. I hope you join us next time. I hope you come up to at least say something. If you want to come up, just click on the link. Let me send the link again. Join us on the link. Click the link to join us if you want. Click the link. Share something with us if you have. If anyone wants to join us, just let me know. I'll invite you so we can have a more. Oh, okay. I have someone.
Hello.
Yeah, Andrew. Wow. Hello, guy. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to joining the stream.
Yeah. Sorry for my English. I'm from Ivory Coast, so my English might not be like good as yours.
It's like, okay. It's okay. I can understand you. So you say you're from Ivory Coast.
Yeah, from Ivory Coast, but I studied civil engineering in in Jeonju, right? So
okay. So from which university?
Jeonju University.
Jeonju University. Okay, so I just want you to tell us, have you had anything specific from your university?
Not yet. Like last time, the university sent a message in our Dean Talk group, and she said that she just post some things about HSK4 and some folders, and one student asked her like, Laoshi, are we going to have like online classes again? And she said no, she's not sure. And people started to think like, oh, maybe if he's not sure, that means like we will go to China soon. So we are just everything is like kind of mess. We don't know if we go or not because currently with the online classes is very very bad. Like it's good, but it's bad at the point like it's about the difference of the time because from China to Ivory Coast is 8 hours. So I have to wake up at maybe at 2 a.m. and
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of the
I
time
understand. I understand
yeah,
that the
I
time
finish at
difference.
12. Yeah, majority of that
The
finish
time
at 12
difference.
or 1 p.m. like that. So it's very, very like tough.
Okay, so what about the students who were supposed to graduate?
For this one, I have no information about that. The only thing I can say, like, I think some of them graduate online, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say something that I'm not sure. But I some of like the students were saying that majority of them are going to graduate online and something like that. For this, I'm not
Oh, to
sure. I
graduate
can say
online.
something. Yeah, some of what were saying like the universities might say they will graduate online, but I'm not sure about that. So that's why I don't want to give any information and this thing can come back as no.
Oh,
So
okay,
that's
oh, okay,
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
I get you. I get you. But there is one thing I still want to let a lot of students know that,
Okay.
especially for students who have been in China, they already understand how Chinese systems operate.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're in school, if you ask something from your teacher, then your teacher will tell you, "Let me ask my leader. Let me ask my
Yeah.
leader." So you see that the system of hierarchy, they respect hierarchy a lot. So someone who is below cannot give you any information if he is not sure
Yeah.
from the person up.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Mm-hmm.
person who is up also has another person who is on top of him,
Another
also
person.
the
Yeah.
boss. So you see that
Mm-hmm.
the information flow is so, it has a bottleneck in kind
Yeah,
of
it's
thing.
like a
So
line.
yeah, so that's why it's very difficult to get anything concrete unless it comes
Yeah.
from above.
Yeah.
And from the last time that the minister himself made an official statement, he said that the Chinese government gives a lot of importance to international students and that China is doing a lot of negotiations and doing a lot to bring back. They value, he said, they value international students a lot. So they are doing everything possible to bring back international students. And that is the only thing that we hang with. If someone asks me anything, that is the only information that we have.
Yeah. We
They've not said anything official.
the problem with like people can suppose like, oh, we might go. I remember last I think before the March of this year, people were saying, "Oh, it's possible for us to go in March. Possible for us to go in March." So even I was preparing myself to say, "Oh, I might go in March," but
Oh,
majority
you
of
mean
this
March
information were
2021?
March 2021. People were saying that were claiming that, "Oh, we go
Yeah,
in March,"
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. Even
majority of
me, I
this
was thinking,
information,
for me, I knew March was not possible. I knew deep inside me, I knew March was not possible, but I was strongly hoping for September, this September.
yeah,
But
I thought the
now
same
there is
thing.
no hope for September because that is, for me, the way I think that when students will be announced, they will give at least 3 months. That is for my own
Mm-hmm.
analysis. They will have at least 3 months to prepare. Now we are already almost the end of July. We just have August and September. That's just 1 month. So we see that
Yeah,
September already there is no hope. But I think that March, the hope for March is not still complete. They might start from March, but not every student.
yeah, like, but me, personally, I want to ask you, like, do you think when is like the best time for us to go?
The best time for,
Like, do you think when is the best time, like, for us to go back to China? Because now we are holding up on, like, maybe unofficial information who are coming from like, students like in the
Okay,
university. Some of them
from
just
my own perspective, from what I think
Mhm.
it's likely going to be September,
This September.
September 2022.
Oh, 2020. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
I
my
get,
own. That's from my own observation. From March,
wow.
I'm thinking that from March, they might bring a batch of students like from some particular countries and who have taken the vaccine. That is just like a test batch. That is my own analysis. I'm not saying this from any official perspective. That's just what I'm observing.
Wow.
They
Yeah,
might say that,
you see,
okay,
wow.
students from these particular countries who have had the vaccine, they might come in. That just like to test.
I see.
Then also,
Even
if you watch the
for my
news,
town.
you
Mhm.
heard about the announcement of they want to build a quarantine. They're building a quarantine hotel in Guangzhou, and they said
Mhm.
the hotel that they are building in Guangzhou can take more than 5,000 students at the same time, more than 5,000 visitors. So it's just going to be
Wow.
specifically to quarantine people once they enter China. It's going to be in Guangzhou, and I think it's almost completed. I think by next month it should be completed. So if that hotel is completed, say by next month, then the hopes for maybe next year will be very high. Maybe the end of this year by
Mhm.
January. Another thing also that will delay the students will be the Olympics.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's another thing
normally,
that
it's so strange. Like people can go for Olympics and student can come back to China.
no,
So
the thing is understand, get the logic. A lot of people are not understanding the logic. It doesn't mean that people can go for Olympics, but students cannot go. The thing is, they can control, they can control in a better way the athletes because this they can control. That's from my own understanding. They can control the athletes and maybe the officials, but not everyone will be allowed even to come to like maybe like the fans.
in the stadium.
Yeah, like to go to the stadium, they can control that.
Wow.
But if they give an open door to students, it means that people will be scattered all over the country.
Mhm. Mhm.
But for those who are coming for the Olympics, they are going to a specific location where they can take care of them for a specific time, and later on they will go back. And also
Wow.
it's for the reputation of the country. It's also for the reputation of the country because if the Olympic fails,
Mhm.
it gives a bad reputation to the country. That
Oh, I
they did
understand
not.
now.
Yeah, if the Olympic fails, it means it gives a bad reputation to the country. And the country have spent a lot of money to to to, to host this
Mhm.
Olympics. Since 2014, they've been preparing more than 6 years. So they're trying as much as
Mhm.
possible not to do anything that would jeopardize the hosting of the Olympics. So after the
Wow.
Olympics now, they will not have any serious event. That will be like in March, April.
Oh. Oh.
Because I think the
Wow. So
Olympics
that
is
means
in
it can be. That means if I understand, it can be maybe we can go back maybe between March of next year or
from
September.
April. Just say from April. From
From
April.
April. Uh
The
huh.
chances the chances will be very high from April. From April right up to September, the chances will be very high. And by that time,
Wow.
and also by that time, by the end of this year, they would have finished vaccination. They would have finished the last part because this is the second half of vaccination. So
Oh.
the country, a lot of people will be immunized already. So they will not be scared
Mhm.
that if people come in with the virus, it will infect people. And other
Ah,
countries also
wow. I think
would
like
have
that,
vaccinated.
like you explain now, is much more understandable because I think we have a problem of communication because the way maybe Chinese communicate and students communicate among them is
It's
not the
different.
same
It's
way
different.
because
So you understand the logic. Yeah, and also why they allow other people to come in and not students is because they want to allow the lesser population like a test to
Mm-hmm.
see, because the students are like the greater number. That's why
Oh,
they cannot say let's allow students from a certain university or students from a certain country. They don't want to give that bias.
and some of them will bring coronavirus and mix with the
Yeah,
Olympics. Is not a
yeah,
good
they don't want
news
to
for
say that.
China.
I was thinking
I
that
understand now.
why they don't say that. Okay, they should take it section by section. Okay, say students from this number of universities can come first this month. Then after 1 or 2 months, students from another university can come. Then after maybe 1 or 2 months, students from another university can come. Like they can bring
Mm-hmm.
it in badges, or they can say
Mm-hmm.
South China, all the universities in South of China. They can arrange.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, I was just looking at it from different ways.
Wow.
Like how can they
I
really
think I
do?
think I think what you said now is very clear. What you say now is very, very, very clear because everything is about like communication,
It's communication.
like with
It's communication.
students. Because me, if I didn't call you right now, I would still be in my mind like, oh, China is like that. China prefer
They hate
maybe
students. No, no,
the
no,
eight
no, no.
students.
It's not
I
that.
realize that they don't hate them. Maybe it's like they're organizing something which is very important, and the image is like depending, like the image of China is depending now. So I think now, as you explain, is very, very like is very clear. So now, what I can do, I can just wait till April or maybe September next year.
Just be doing whatever you're doing in your country.
Yeah.
Just forget about it. Just be doing your normal activities. If you can do your online
Mm-hmm.
classes, just do it. Just condition your mind that it will be September 2022. If anything happens before September, good.
Now, then I understand now. I
Yeah,
understand
just
now. At
condition your
least,
mind. Just put it in your mind that you will go to China in September 2022. It can be before
but
that.
yeah, it can be before that because for we people who studying like something very practical as engineering, and some of the other students who study like medical stuff or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
want to say that we will be prioritized than other people,
That's another thing.
but
They don't want to prioritize. They don't want to also make it that way. Maybe they would have said that okay, medical students can come. But if they say that medical students should come, it's like a bias to those who are doing business or to those who are doing engineering. And they cannot say
yeah.
that okay, engineering students can come. Or they cannot say that students from this country can come. No.
But therefore, they did already for South Korea. That's why Bangladeshi
Okay.
people was
I
like,
did a video about this South Korea issue. If you want, you can just go to my channel and check. South Korea was considered for several reasons that so many people don't understand. At that time, the rate of COVID-19 in South Korea was very less. So it was like a test. After South Korea, they would have definitely considered another
mhm,
country. But at that time, after they allowed the students from South
mhm.
Korea to come, then immediately after that, the rate of COVID-19 in so many countries was instead going up. That's why after South Korea, they did not allow other countries to come.
Mm-hmm.
And not all the
Mm-hmm.
students in South Korea were considered.
Oh,
Not all the students were
so if I
considered.
understand, for the South Korea one, it was just a test.
Yeah, it was just a test to see if we allow students to come in at
Oh,
this time, what will happen? Let's
you
see.
see, you see
Then
that's what I said. Everything's about communication. Now you are explaining. If you can do this same explanation, like maybe to Bangladeshi students or to other students in the world, they will understand because now people are started to hate China. They say China doesn't prioritize students. Everything is about communication.
no, a lot.
Everything is
The
about
thing is,
communication.
it is a problem of communication. It is a problem of communication. You see, even in class, sometimes when the Laotians explain something, sometimes it's very difficult to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Students are a category of travelers to China. The only people who are allowed to come to China now are people who are coming for family reunion, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
for high diplomatic work, or maybe for some high skilled labor that the country needs. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
this number of people are not so many. They can
Mm-hmm.
easily track and control. But students, the number of students are so much that if they allow students to come in, the number of people that will come in at the same time will be too much, and it might cause a great havoc to the country. That's why they have not given the priority to students. So
Oh.
I was telling myself, okay, why can't they break the students into different groups and
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, students from this section or from this particular university or from this section of the country, you can come now. Next month, another group can come. Maybe they will register in their embassies and maybe they can meet in a particular country. They can say, okay, all the students from Africa, we can meet in this country, and for this month, we will come in. Next month, the
Mm-hmm.
students from Asia, they can meet in this country. Students are ready to pay flights, even to take longer flights. People don't matter again. They just want to come back. Even if they give a transit
Mm-hmm.
route that people will go and meet in another country to come in, students are ready to pay to come in. So that's why I
Then
was
some of
asking
the
myself
students
that
have
why.
already committed suicide. Some students commit suicide in Bangladesh and in India. If you
But
don't
yeah,
know, I'm
but
just
I was
telling you
asking myself, but I was
because
asking myself, why will someone do that? Why will someone take his life, take his own life because he cannot go to another country to study? And it's not that you
yeah,
have been banned. It's not that you have been banned that you will never go. It's just that they have told you to be patient. Like I asked myself, is this really real? Why would someone do that?
yeah, it's real. I saw on like on Twitter, and some of the
Really?
official was talking about that. Yeah, like if you go on Twitter, there's a lot of page like some Indian students commit suicide because they say that they're like there's no more hope for them for their life. They think
Oh my
maybe
god!
if there
Oh
are
my
no
god! Oh my
allow,
god!
some
That's
of them killing
that's that's
themselves.
really.
Even this thing put a lot of pressure to the family to write to the local government to send like there's a lot of things coming on like people are even in
Yeah,
Bangladesh in like
I also read something from a lady from Bangladesh who she was saying that she before she came to China she had a job. She had a very good job in Bangladesh. So she had to resign from her job and accepted the CSE scholarship
mhm,
because she knew that from her stipend that she'll be getting, she can support herself and maybe she can even send some money because this stipend that most of them are getting is enough to even support themselves and even send some little money home because some of them are coming from really poor backgrounds.
mhm,
So she resigned from her job and she came to China, and just after I think a few months, then the virus started. Then she went back
mhm.
home. Now she
Yeah,
cannot get her stipend, she cannot get the job back, and now she's
yes,
living in abject poverty.
yes.
And I know that's just one case. There are so many others who have the same, who have
There's a
even
lot.
worse situations.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Even for my case, where I am in Africa, I can say thank God maybe like my country is kind of good, so I can even find a job like I can find a job as a waiter because there's a lot of students we can find a job as a waiter. But if you have to mix like being a waiter and at the same time go to the school because the job starts maybe at 4 p.m. and we can finish like maybe at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. So your class
Yeah,
starts at 2 a.m. So you are tired from work, you go to study again,
yeah, I
and when you
understand. I
study you
understand.
finish at 1 p.m. the next day. It's like you can't match. So now we are
Yeah.
just asking about what can we do? Which kind of activity can we do? Like we are just there like that. We are hoping like maybe by the next year thing can be good and we can go back.
No, there is hope.
Currently,
The hope for next year. The hope for next year. Because you see, this is the timeline that I have. Because each time I share information here, I say that I'm sharing it from my observation. The first thing that students should understand is that by the end of this year, China would have finished the round of COVID-19 vaccination because as of now they are almost at 80%, no 50%. and the rate is going up so high. So let's say by December 2021, they would have completed the round of vaccination in China. And not
Oh,
only in China, other countries would have also speed up. Other countries would have also speed up their vaccination. Okay, I've lost you, but thank you so much for coming. You can continue to listen to the analysis that I'm doing. Thank you so much for coming. So let me continue. Let me explain what I was trying to say again. By the end of this year, China would have finished the round of vaccination. Like they would have had herd immunization. Now, the next thing that they'll be looking at will be Beijing Olympics. That's another thing. They were looking at the 100th anniversary. 100th anniversary already passed. These are some of the major events that people were looking at that they don't want to interfere with. Now this has passed. Now by the end of this year, they will finish vaccination. By February next year, Olympics will be over, and then we see that the coast will be clear for them to do other things. The coast will be clear. And then now they can look at the case of international students in a more clearer way. So that's why we're saying that, and it cannot happen so fast in March or in April. In March or in April, maybe a group of students might be allowed to come in, or maybe a few students might be allowed to come in. That's by March. Then they will see now the effects of the students who will come in March or April. Then now a greater number will be allowed to come in by September, or the rest of the students will be allowed to come in September. So I want to give like one very big advice to especially students who have not been to China before. I see a lot of people going online saying that students should not accept admission letters and so on. That's not a very good advice that I see a lot of other students doing. If you're a student who are watching me and you've never been to China before, accept your admission letter and start your online classes. That is an honest advice that I'm giving. Accept your admission and start your online classes. I have students who started online classes. I have students who, I have students who started online classes and they've already finished one academic year. If they were sitting at home waiting, what would have happened for the one academic year? Now, by next year, they will start their second year. And by the time they'll be coming to China, they might just have 1 year or 2 years to finish their studies, rather than staying at home doing nothing. And most of these students who are even saying the most negative things about China are those who have already benefited a lot from China. Like there are students who have lived in China for 5-6 years. They were living on scholarship. Some of them were working. They've benefited a lot already from China. It's like you're biting the finger that fed you, which is something really unspeakable. It's like you're biting the finger that fed you, because you were already in China. You've benefited from Chinese education. You've benefited from Chinese economy. You've benefited from a lot of things, and you're going to continue to benefit from these things. So why do you in turn bite the finger that fed you? Anyway, I have just 2 minutes to end the live stream. I wanted it to last only for 1 hour, only for 45 minutes, but we are getting up to 1 hour. Let me read the last comments. As a student, what should I do? I just got my admission, whether I freeze my online classes or resume, because there is not any clarification. We go to China in September 2022. Please give me advice. Okay, Black Shadow, my advice, I don't really know you. I don't know where you're from, but my advice for you is that you should accept your admission. Accept your admission and start your online classes. Don't listen to what someone will tell you, oh, China is this, China is that. Accept your admission. Now it's holidays. Classes will start in September. Accept your admission and start your online classes. Before you know it, it will be March and students might start coming in. Okay, yeah, you said you're from Pakistan, Black Shadow. Thank you so much. Accept your admission, Black Shadow, and start your classes. By April next year, a batch of students might come in, depending on how this vaccination would have ended by the end of this year, and depending on how Other countries would have also embraced vaccination, and the rest of the other countries all over the world, the COVID-19 situation, and so on. So we are suggesting that by next year, a lot of students might come in. So accept your admission and start your online classes. Can we take admission for MBBS online? Of course, everyone can take admission. Of course, everyone can take admission. I was even thinking that once you take the admission and start with the theoretical classes, when you come to China, you can do the practicals. You can start now with the theory online and all the preliminaries. Then when you come to China, you can do all the practicals and finish all the other courses that cannot be done online. I know there are some courses that cannot be done online, but the courses that can be done online, instead of sitting at home doing nothing, why not just accept the admission and then start the classes now while you wait? Because no amount of anxiety can change the situation. COVID-19 has already done the damage to the entire world. People have lost their lives. People have lost their jobs. People have lost their businesses, have closed down. So international students are just a small part of the loss that the virus have brought. If we want to check at the damages that the virus have caused, we see that it is too much. It is just too much. Okay, we also have someone, he's saying, let's see. He said, brother, also we heard before 2023, there is no ACNY chances. Is this true? I don't know about this information. Then another person said, but they are denying practicals for the students who already are in MBBS. I don't understand. Denying practicals, like how? Can you explain more about this? Like they are denying practicals for students who already doing MBBS? Sunflower. Please, can you say more about this? Like denying practicals, like how? I don't understand. Let's round up. Let's round up. When you say they are denying practicals, what do you mean? Like they don't want students to do practicals, or I don't understand. Can you explain a little bit before we round up? Okay, so well, I'll be ending the stream. You can just drop a comment on this video, because this video will be recorded, and then you can rewatch it later on. So just drop the comment on the video, and then if I have more information about this, I can reply to you, or just send a message to any of my videos, ask any question. I'll try to find out the information, and I can get back to you. Okay, Black Shadow is saying, brother, do you have any student or group of students from Hunan Normal University? Well, I can find out, and then because there are a lot of WeChat groups where we have students from all over China, so I'll just ask if I know any student from Hunan Normal University, and I can link you up. Just send me a message, or you can let me send my email. You can email me, and then if I have any more information about that, I can let you know. I can even add you to the WeChat group. Okay, so that's my email. You can send me my email. I can add your WeChat if you're using WeChat already. Then I can also add you to the WeChat group where you can meet with other international students and get some updates directly from China and from other students who are already in China. And you can connect yourself directly to students directly from that university. Okay, this is your WeChat. Okay, I'm going to add you on WeChat. Then we can chat later on. Our country is not accepting online classes for MBBS. Oh, I understand. Like students who are doing online classes for MBBS, your country does not accept. Well. For this, I need to find more information, because this, I don't really have more information on this. Which means that if you study online, your country will not accept your certificate or something. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay. I get your point. Well, different countries have their different requirements, especially for medicine MBBS. But I didn't know about this. I have to research more about this to know what can be done if you're forced or if you're left only with the online option. Maybe another option can also be, if for real your country is not accepting online classes, then you can as well suspend your studies. Because for now, that is the only option. It's either you do online classes or you can just accept the admission. There are ways of accepting admission and forfeiting it rather than declining the admission. You get what I'm saying? You accept the admission and you forfeit it for the next semester. Instead of starting this semester, you tell them, okay, I've accepted the admission, but I'm not able to start this semester. I can start next semester. And then you give them a reason. You tell them, because my country does not accept MBBS done online, so I cannot study MBBS online. I think the university will understand. Since they don't have any choice, they will reserve your admission place for next year. So that's just what I can say for now. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. If someone still has something to say, you can say it now, because I'll be ending the stream, and I'll see you in my next stream and in my next videos. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I'll try for us to be having streams like this on a weekly basis, like once in a week, so that if there is something concrete, we can talk about it. Today is Wednesday. Maybe next Wednesday, we can have another chat like this, and I'll share if there are any more information that we've got within the week. Rather than doing so many videos, I can just accumulate the information, and on a stream like this, we can talk about everything. Today was just the first session. I was just testing it. You see, I got a lot of mix up. My connection was not very well, and this is my first time to use StreamYard, so I was not very versed with how it works. So I was just testing it. So I believe that next time we'll have a better session and we'll have a more informative session. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I'll be leaving you guys now. Where and what are you studying? Oh, you're talking about me? No, me, I'm not a student. I studied last year. I graduated already. I'm working. So I was studying in Jiangsu University. I did MBA in Jiangsu University. I studied there for 3 years. So whatever thing I'm sharing here, I'm sharing based on my experience in China. And I'm still an alumni of the university. I still participate in a lot of university activities. I still belong to a lot of university groups, and I still do a lot of university stuff. So that's why I have more information as far as this topic is concerned. But right now, I'm not studying. I graduated already and I'm working in China. Thank you so much for the question. So guys, thank you so much. I'll end the stream now, and bye-bye. Thank you for coming.